Well, hello explorers, and today we're going to try a new experiment. And I've been doing this for a little while. I do exercises in bed before I wake up, and we're going to do some video of it and see what you guys think. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing it. And this is my I'm too lazy to get out of bed routine. And obviously I had to get out of bed today. I got everything arranged. We'll see how it works, see how long the video keeps going. I should have gotten some music queued up before I started. So I guess I'll pause the recording now. And setting up the camera was quite a challenge. So, not that you care about any of that. Without further ado, let's start some exercises. So the first thing I do, if I'm really being too lazy to get out of bed while I'm goofing around with my phone, is I lay on my back and you tuck your butt. You're just clenching your butt cheeks as hard as you possibly can, and your thigh muscles while sucking in your stomach, and just tighten it all up. And you can hold it for a nice isometric exercise, or you can lift several times. Get my hand out of the way. So you can do several of these. Let's do 10. 1, 2, 3. Really squeeze at the top. 4, 5, 6. Really squeeze all those muscles. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a good exercise while you're just goofing around on your phone or whatever. Then you can actually, my new thing is I'm practicing doing backbends, because I realized the other day I couldn't do a backbend. So that's the next thing I've been doing, is I do a backbend for a count of 20. And I put my hair in a different place than I usually wear it. So we'll see if this is able. And this right here is actually the biggest challenge for me. I'm over the age of 40, and I noticed probably 10 to 15 years ago, which is why I quit doing backbends in the first place, that this right here is having a hard time supporting me. So that's where my weakness in this particular exercise is. And then when I went to do one the other day for the first time, I couldn't get the press up, and it was quite embarrassing to myself. So hopefully I'm able to perform them for you right now. So I do 3 of them, and I do it for a count of 20, not 20 seconds, a count of 20. So let's see if we can do these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I come back down. And then I bend my wrists the opposite direction, and I do a few more of those butt raises, just because I'm trying to use my time efficiently. So we'll just do a couple more seconds of this, and then we'll go back up for another back bend. I guess the proper yoga term for a back bend is a wheel. I just learned that the other day. I always thought it was a bridge, but I'll show you a bridge in a minute. Okay, ready? And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. And come back down. And I'll bend the wrist the other way. Do a few more hip pumps. 3, 4, 5, hold it, and then we'll do our last wheel of the day. I'm actually doing quite good getting up. You'd never know, a week ago I couldn't lift myself off the bed. So here we go. Ready? And this is one exercise that if you have really nice satin sheets or silk sheets, this is going to be really hard. I found it's hard to maintain my hand position on these nice soft sheets. So if you're having a hard time with this one in the bed, you can do it on the floor. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, coming down. All right, wow, the hair is not completely out of the way because it's all jacked up. Guess I'll stop the video, check my time, and see how it looks, and fix my hair. And welcome to Exercising with Andrea. Okay, we are back, and I told you I would show you what a bridge is. So I looked this up on YouTube, but the difference between a wheel and a bridge is a bridge is kind of like the exercise we were just doing when you press up. So this is a bridge from what I read, from what I saw on YouTube. So you can do your palms together, and this is supposed to open up your rib cage here, and so you hold it flat and squeeze the butt again, and tuck in your stomach and get those shoulder blades under you, and so this is a bridge. So not nearly as hard as the wheel in my personal situation. So there you go. So now we're gonna do I call them froggies, and this is another good I'm lazy looking at my phone kind of exercise. So you start with your the soles of your feet together, and you press up, and then you bring it back down, and up and down, and 4 and 5, oops, and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. Now these are really, really easy at first. 11, 12, but you do 25 or so of these. 14, 15, and you'll start to feel it. This is an inner thigh exercise. At 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, starting to feel a little bit, 22, 23, 24, 25. We're going to do 30, at least 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. We'll start there. Then if you want to continue to stay in this position, you can do some crisscrosses. So go all the way out. I've been practicing stretching in this position. So I do a cross. I did the right leg in front that time. I'm doing the left leg. And that's 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Again, these aren't that hard when you first start out. 16, 17. And if you want to make it harder, go further out and bring in 19, 20. And if you want to make it easier, don't go as far out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we'll do 30, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Now, if you want to just add a little stretch, just let your legs fall and use the gravity to stretch your inner thighs. And I like to grab my calves a little because this isn't the same stretch as this. So I like to make sure that I'm holding the legs up a little bit. Try not to bend your knees. My knees are kind of just at a neutral. They're not hyperextended. And I've got my feet flexed, which is puts all of this stretch on the hamstring side. Just hold that a little bit to stretch out those inner thighs. Add to the stretch, pull up a little bit. At least that's what works for me. I've never been formally trained in exercise. I did teach dance class for several years, and I was instructed as a dancer, but not as a dance instructor. I have substitute taught a calisthenics class before. So here is just a little ankle exercise. As ankles are actually one of the things you really got to watch out for in your life, because if your ankles are too weak, you can really hurt yourself. I know several people who have gotten seriously injured because their ankles went out on them. You know, they were stepping off a little curb or just stepped down wrong. So I always make it a point to try to keep my ankles really strong. Now this exercise here, doing circles is amazingly hard. You'll feel it in your shin area pretty quickly. So let's go the other way. I don't know how many we did, we're not counting. So again, trying to keep my legs straight. Not doing a very good job of it. So I like to do the opposite. I mean, oh yeah, starting to feel that in the ankles already. So I do this just to make sure that my stability is really good when I'm walking around. I also stretch my ankles while I'm standing on the ground sometimes. So there, oh, yep, I can already feel that in the ankles. Very small muscles, take very little to make sore. Okay, now I'm gonna do the video or the exercise that actually started the whole exercise regime that I've started doing. My original goal and promise to myself was that I would do a minute-long plank every morning, and then I added I think 10 push-ups. I do as many as I can in formal push-up position, and then I drop to my knees and finish. And after that, I added some tricep push-ups, which are, you make a shape like this in front of you, right under your chest, and you do push-ups in that position. So let's do that. This time we'll do our forearms, and we'll hold it for a full minute. And sorry about the music. Actually, I think I'm gonna see about fast forwarding this particular song. Jazz is not really my favorite, and having ambient chill out music while you're trying to exercise isn't probably the best. But let's, it was the only one I could find that was going to be long enough. All right, so here we go. So we're going to do a minute on our forearms, and I will. Now sometimes I clasp my hands like this, and sometimes I keep them like this. I'm not entirely sure which one is better for you, but let's go up. So here, the important thing is to hold everything tight, 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 and I'm trying not to let my gut fall, which is always really hard. Oh, there we go. Hide it. And as we age, things don't stay exactly where they used to, and so trying to get my to not look like a cat that's eaten too many canaries in this position is very difficult. And so you're clenching your thighs, clenching your butt, clenching your stomach, clenching your back. This is a very good core exercise, and a minute is a really long time. If you can't hold it a minute, that's just fine. I've been doing this for about a year now, and our minute is up. Yay! So go ahead and come down. And the next exercise I do is I do my push-ups from this position. And so I get back and get in my push-up position. And I was told that you're supposed to keep your elbows in. Now, whenever I've done push-ups in the past, I always was here, but I guess that's not the proper position. So now we're doing it down here. So my elbows are close to my sides, and I'm gonna try to do at least 5 in proper form before I drop to my knees and finish with the other 5. Okay, ready? And 1, 2. Oh, these are so hard for me. 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did it. To the knees. These are so much easier. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I adjust my hands, and I do that kind of triangle position, and then I'm gonna do 10 more on my knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, did I say I was gonna do 10? 5. 10 is a lot. 6, 7, 8. Oh! 9. Oh! And 10. Oh, yes, I made it. Wow. And I've been doing this for a long time. So if you can't do 10 even on your knees, don't feel bad. I almost couldn't either. But that works your triceps, which are the muscles right back here, to keep you from having what my exercise teacher used to call lunch lady arms, where your arm jiggles underneath. So now what I transition into is I put my feet off of the edge of the bed. You can't tell because they're under the covers, because yes, I don't even take the covers off of my bed. And this is actually not really too much of an exercise, as mostly just a stretch. I hurt my back a couple of years ago, and this is a physical therapy exercise. So she said you just push up like this, and you're supposed to have your buttocks loose. And in my dance career, we learned to clench our gluteus maximuses independently, and so I add that to this particular stretch just to get a little practice in, because I've quit practicing. So you just do this, and I've changed this stretch a little. I walk my hands down, so I go a few inches, and then I go up again, and then I go down, and then I go up again. So this isn't quite Cobra. I'll show you Cobra, or at least my version of Cobra, in a minute. I thought this was like Cobra, but it's Cobra's much harder. Leave it to those yogis to make a physical therapy exercise that's harder than the physical therapy exercise. So there you go. And as I'm walking my hands down, I'm stretching different vertebrae, and actually the lower ones actually are what helps me the most, because it was between my shoulder blades that I was having the problems. And so this position is actually more of an issue for me than the all the way up. Now I'm walking my hands back, and I do these a couple of times. I'm supposed to do 25 3 times a day, I think is what I was originally assigned by my physical therapist. Up. And I'm still doing my butt clenches when I remember. So that's that exercise. We'll do it one more time. My back has been actually hurting these last couple of days, and because I've been forgetting to do this particular one. So I'm gonna do some of these. I've been spending a lot of time at the computer working on my websites and learning new software. Nothing quite like teaching yourself to be a software engineer or a webmaster. So hopefully we get the hang of it and we do a good job, and everybody in the internet world will appreciate my work and find my work. That's the hardest part. How do you get found? Just like this video. Thank you for finding it. If you have any ideas that you want to see me demonstrate, I'd be happy to look it up and show you my lazy version. So this exercise is probably okay for beginners. Like I said, I'm not a licensed doctor or physical therapist. I'm just an average Joe person that figured out this works for me, and I thought I would share it with you, because we all have gotten really sedentary, I believe, and doing some movement is better than doing no movement, I'm pretty sure. So there we go. So we did 2 of those, and now I'll show you what a proper Cobra, from what I understand. So proper Cobra is, I've pulled my feet back on the bed and I have my toes kind of pointed. The hands are right by your chest, elbows completely in, and you press up in this position and hold it. And this is a lot harder than going all the way up. And it's even hard for me to press this much. My arms are kind of shaking right now. I hope I'm not shaking to the point where you can see it, but it's a fairly difficult exercise. It's also a good stretch. I can feel it in my back. So that's what I interpreted the Cobra to look like. So this is a yoga pose to hold. I don't know how long the video will let me record before it shuts off, so I have to keep putting stops in it. So this exercise is just mostly a flexibility exercise. It doesn't really take much muscle strength, and that is to do cat-cow. So this, you press your spine down and your sit bones up, and I put my chin up too, just trying to arch that back as much as I can without causing pain. Don't cause yourself pain. Discomfort a little bit maybe, because that's what stretching is about, but don't cause any pain, and really concentrate it. I found if I really think about what muscles and bones I'm moving, it really makes a difference. So this is the cow pose, and then you switch it to the cat, which you arch your back. And again, I really concentrate on elongating the spaces between my spine and trying to stretch out those discs a little. And then if you want to, you can kind of stretch one side and stretch the other side, but really kind of pull up in the middle of the back as much as you can. Tuck that bottom under. Now we're going to go back to a cow. And trying to stretch the other side of your spine. Now this particular position is probably what we need to do more, because in society these days we're always looking down over our computers or our electronic devices, and we have a tendency to round our shoulders and neck the opposite direction from this. And so this helps counteract all of the looking down that we've done all day. And then back into the cat, which this position is where we find our neck and upper shoulders a lot during the day, unless you have much better posture than I do. So you just go back and forth between these a few times. Holding it will actually help. And then you can just do that. And then there's a stretch that I always really disliked. It hurt. Everybody said I would eventually like it, almost to that point, and that's the downward dog. So you start in table. I think this is table. We'll have to look that up. Make sure I'm not lying to you. So you start just flat and curl your toes under, and then you're going to push up, and I try to make sure the blanket's not under. I think you can go a little wider than hips. And the challenge here is to put your head between your arms and keep your back really flat, and lift your butt to the air, your actual sit bones, and while trying to put your heels on the ground. And you should get a stretch all along your spine, and you should get a stretch all along the back of your legs. So this is my version of the downward dog. I've actually looked it up to see if I'm doing it right. I'm not entirely sure. It seems like their V's are maybe a little bit different than my V. But I've been doing these for about 5 months maybe, and it is getting a little bit better. My heels actually are down, but remember I'm on a bed, so it's got some squish to it. I don't think my heels would be down on the ground if I was on a hard surface. So there you go. So you hold this. A minute is probably preferable. I wasn't timing, so we're just going to hold it a little while I chit chat with you. And just if it starts to feel too comfortable, readjust, because you've probably let the position fail for a minute. So I like doing this one because it's kind of an anti-gravity exercise for my face and my flesh. Maybe a little bit for my spine too. So that's why I added that particular exercise. And it's just kind of a good all over body stretch. So there you go. Sometimes I do a lot more, sometimes I do a lot less. But since this is our first day, I think we'll stop there. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. If you want to, like I said, if there's an exercise that you want to see me do, let me know and I'll look it up and I'll try to perform it for you. I think it might be beneficial to see a kind of an average Joe person like myself doing the exercises, not, you know, some professional person that's all ripped up and already got a six-pack. I'm not in bad shape by any stretch, but I don't have a six-pack. I could sure use some toning myself. So there you go, and I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully see you tomorrow with exercising for the lazy. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I don't know. We'll see. If you have any ideas for what I should call this, let me know. But I do have to name the channel, so maybe I can change the name if I don't like it. So still, if you have any ideas for what we should call the too lazy to get out of bed workout, I might call it that, but I don't know what to call my channel. Anyhow, you are what makes us YouTubers. If you don't watch us, we don't have a channel. So please subscribe, hit the like button, go to my website, explorerlink.com, if you want to see more about my travels, and keep being happy. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. And make the best choices you can today. And if you make a bad one, just make a different decision next time when that comes up. It's always a learning curve, and we just got to do our best and take care of ourselves, because nobody else takes care of ourselves. And if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So, signing off.